All right, friends, just keeping it real with you today on the podcast. When do I not? But I actually had an entirely different episode planned for today. Had it recorded and then sat there for 2 seconds and was like, nope, I can't publish that because it doesn't pass this one test. So today we're going to chat / I'm going to chat and you're going to be like, yeah, that's right, girl, preach or however you react. But we're going to chat about the one test that I think all content needs to pass to get published. And truthfully, this goes beyond SEO, beyond, is this going to make me dollars, all of that. Like, this question is deeper than that and even more fundamental than that. Obviously, I believe that content should help your SEO and content should move the needle for your business. But if it doesn't pass this one test, ain't getting published. So listen in to your pal Faith through my deep recovering from a cold Kim Walker. Hey there, fellow entrepreneur. Welcome to Simple SEO and Marketing with me, Faith Hannon. Do you want to grow your business with organic marketing and finally feel like you can understand SEO? Are you scouring the internet for how to get more website traffic, SEO for dummies, and how to market on Pinterest? Have you tried to grow your business with SEO and blogging only to get frustrated and quit because it's overwhelming and too time consuming? Been there. Hey, I'm Faith Hannon, Jesus lover, copywriter, blogger, wife, wrangler of tiny humans, and barrel racer. And let me tell you, I didn't have time to waste sorting through SEO and keyword strategies that either didn't work or were so over my head I couldn't understand them. I honestly thought that SEO and blogging only worked for people with a PhD in tech jargon and a whole team of employees. Until I learned these secrets. Good SEO strategies don't have to be complicated, and creating and marketing great content doesn't have to take more than a couple hours a week total. So pop in those earbuds, slam some coffee, and let's grow your business with simple organic marketing and a healthy dose of biblical encouragement along the way. So fun fact, been recovering from a cold this week and I just have this really awesome, I call it my Kim Walker Smith voice because when my husband and I lead worship, if I'm leading a song and I sound like this, I'm like, bro, we need to pick a Kim Walker song because if you're not familiar with Kim Walker or Bethel Music or Jesus Culture Music or whoever she's worked with, she has a super low register. I do not have that low of a register except for when I have a cold. And then I'm like, bring on the low songs, baby. I can hit all those notes now. So just know that I'm not going to sound like this forever. Please and thank you and still love me. So the other day I sat down to record a podcast, recorded the whole thing, and was honestly ready to hit publish. And then I was like, nope, ain't doing it. Can't do it. And I have so many people ask me questions about, how do I know what content to create? Do I write content for SEO? Do I write content, for my audience or based on their questions? How do I decide what to publish? How do I decide, where to publish, what I publish? There's so many questions about content. And especially as, AI is playing more and more of a factor because you can literally press a few buttons and have, content created for you that's not original. There's have a whole soapbox for that issue. But content is so essential for online marketing and moving the needle forward in your business. And it can be super time consuming. I get that 100%. So when you sit down and create content, you want to know, hey, I'm doing the right thing. I'm creating content around the right thing. And we talk a lot here about creating content that's searchable. Like, will this content get found on Google because people are searching for it? Or am I writing in such a way that people aren't, ever going to find it? Am I writing or talking about things that people don't care about? Like, the searchability factor of content is obviously important. And then it also needs to be something that's going to move the needle for your business, right? Like, if you don't sell handmade knitted socks, like, why are you creating content around handmade knitted socks? Okay. But you always need to know, like, hey, this content is ultimately either, driving traffic towards a product or building trust around, something, or just letting people into the, a little bit of behind the scenes so they get to know me better and I can serve them better. This is answering my audience's questions. Like, everything needs to have a purpose in what you create and what you publish. However, if it doesn't pass this one test, I don't think it should be published. And honest to goodness, like, I did not publish a fully done episode because I didn't feel like it passed this test. All right. You ready to know what this test is? I'll quit hem-hawing around. I feel like every piece of content that you create and that you publish is a better word. It should be something that you would find helpful and worth your time. Now let me expound on that a little bit, because there are so many things that, we can talk about as entrepreneurs, or even, leaders, or further on down the road, just teaching somebody. There's things that we can talk about that maybe we're so far from that problem that we feel like, oh, duh, everybody knows that. And maybe a lot of people do. But would that idea or that concept have been helpful to you 5 years ago, or wherever your ideal client is in their journey compared to where you are right now? Because when I sit down to create content, I want to know that ultimately this thing that I'm putting out into the world is something that I either would have found really helpful or would find really helpful and worth my time. Because I don't know about y'all, but time is the most precious commodity in my life right now. And so if I spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes of my time consuming your content, like, y'all, I better not be mad that I spent that time when I'm done. And the same rings true for my own content. And the podcast episode that I had created, like, it wasn't bad. There was nothing bad about it. But at the end of the day, I just thought, if I sat and listened to that podcast episode, that specific one, for 5 or 10 or 15 minutes, however long it was, would I be mad that I gave 15 minutes of my time, albeit I would probably be multitasking because I'm always multitasking listening to podcasts. But would I have been mad that I gave 15 minutes of my time and my brain space to that thing? And honestly, the answer was yes. And so I didn't publish it. And so that is the rule that I think every piece of content should pass, is when somebody is done consuming this content, did they find it helpful and worth their time? Because just like y'all's time is valuable, so is your audience's time. And I've truly found that when you can respect somebody's time and provide them helpful content, answer their questions, get to the nitty-gritty, man, that generates so much trust. And as entrepreneurs, and especially digital entrepreneurs, like, we have a huge burden to generate trust in our businesses. I mean, it's not like the old days where you walked into Mr. Brown's shoe store and Mr. Brown knew your mama, your grandma, and had been to, all of the family barbecues, and you knew him and you knew he was going to sell you some good shoes or whatever. Like, that's not really the game that we're in right now. And so it's so critical, especially if we're going to stand out against the spammy websites and against completely AI generated content. It's so critical that we are building trust with every piece of content that we publish, which includes everything needs to pass this test and answer this question, which really boils down to, when somebody's done consuming this content, will they have found it helpful and worth their time? So that's the test, y'all. That is the test that I think all content needs to pass, including my own. Have I done it 100% perfectly? No, I have not. But I just wanted to pull back the curtain and just kind of show y'all a snippet of the content creation process that I try to go through as in the questions that I try to, use as a business owner and use when I'm writing content for myself and for clients. If y'all are interested in booking a one-on-one coaching call, make sure that you get that booked stat, because like middle of November, I'm not taking any more coaching clients until after I have this baby and come off of maternity leave, because I don't want to have to cancel a coaching call because I'm going into labor. Okay. So get that coaching call booked. We'll get your SEO strategy just nailed down, your keywords nailed down. And if you would rather just talk about your content strategy, we can focus on that as well. The hour is yours entirely when you book that with me. So I pray that this episode blesses y'all and you're able to just really look through this lens as you plan your content, create your content, and publish your content. So we'll chat with y'all next time. Bye. Thank you so much for listening in today. Hopefully this episode gave you some really tangible tips for better SEO and marketing to get more leads and more sales from your website. If it did, can I ask you a quick favor? Would you please share this episode with a friend and then just take 10 seconds and go leave a written review on Apple Podcasts. That is the very best way to help more Jesus-loving entrepreneurs scale their businesses so that they can help more people with their gifts and make an even bigger impact for the kingdom of God. And guess what? We now have a Facebook community where we can learn, hang out, and laugh. Go join the Facebook group now. It's linked in the show notes. And all the other things, courses, coaching, and copywriting can be found at my website, faithhannon.com. Until next time, God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.